2023 was the year of hockey romance, and yes, this subgenre of romance has existed for years. I would say one of the most popular series in this subgenre would be Al Kennedy's Off Campus series, which was released in 2015. But 2023 was the year where the niche of hockey romance truly blew up. This was a year where a hockey romance was one of the best-selling novels of the year. This was a year where NHL teams used the hype of hockey romance as a marketing strategy. Sometimes it worked, other times it blew up on their faces. And partially because of that, this was a year where the drama between a hockey player and his wife, with book talkers who loves hockey romances and hypersexualizing him and saying inappropriate things about him and doing videos where they suggest inappropriate things with him and about him became mainstream media news. And basically now you can find multiple videos and articles about that situation. In 2023, I read a total of 7 hockey romance books. All of them are part of popular book talk series. Before last year, I barely consumed any sports romance, and actually, I don't think before last year I ever consumed a hockey related content, entertainment content. Besides that one Disney Channel movie I watched as a kid called Go Figure. That's the name of the Disney Channel movie I watched as a kid. I also read in 2022 The Deal by L. Kennedy. That was the extent of my experience, but in 2023, with so many people talking about it and people recommending this book and saying, oh, they are so much fun, and people talking about how they are so much fun, I decided to read them. So to end 2023, I decided to read 2 really popular hockey romances. At least they are really popular in my bubble of bookish internet. So I decided to read them because I wanted to remove them from my TBR and also experience how much fun and end this year celebrating the year of the hockey romance. The first book I read was Behind the Net. This was a book that honestly the main reason I read was because I am a particularly curious person and I have this itch to read almost every single really popular book and books that keep appearing on my TikTok feed and on my Kindle homepage, and they keep saying you like this. It's because I'm perpetually curious and I know maybe one day I might have problems with that. So the first book I read was Behind the Net. This was the first book in a series, I forgot the name, but it's a series by Stephanie Archer. They are, I believe, all hockey romance. The first novel follows an NHL goalie and his assistant, who turns out she was his high school crush. According to the Kindle description, this was a grumpy sunshine romance novel. Hi, hello. So it's been a few days. I'm around 45% in the book, and so far it's fun. I don't really have something to complain about. It's not my favorite novel ever, but I'm still having fun. The only thing though is that the name of the character, the male main character, is Jamie Streicher. Stretcher. Please tell me how you would pronounce. But in my head, every single time I read his name, my mind goes straight to Stretcher. And since this is a hockey romance, and hockey is a kind of violent sport, it's not uncommon for players to get injured while playing, seriously injured while playing that sport, right? My mind, every time I read to his name, my weird little mind goes to Stretcher, and now I don't know, maybe it's because also I'm a Swiftie, but my mind goes straight to, is this an Easter egg? And so if this is an Easter egg, when we will get the player hitting the boards really hard, falling unconscious on the ice, when will we get the puck hitting the neck of the person, when will we get the scene where someone is there unconscious on the ice or unable to move on the ice. Now we have a stretcher. You know, my weird little mind goes straight to injured, death. Maybe it's because, well, I've been compared before as the perfect mixture between Emily in Paris and Wednesday Addams, and to be honest, I would actually agree with that comparison. And actually, I do have the same personality type as Wednesday Addams. But is it just me that every single time that reads that character name, my mind goes straight to Stretcher? So I'm around 60% in the book, and the narrative is feeling a little bit repetitive. The character seems to be, they keep circling the same problem over and over and over again, but hopefully it will pick up soon, because it's too repetitive at the moment. Overall, Behind the Net, it did fulfill its promise of being fun. I did have fun reading it. It is a very fluffy book, but definitely not my favorite. I do understand why some people adore this book. It makes total sense. It's cute. But for me, it just felt a little bit repetitive at times. It seemed like the characters, they kept running and circling the same problem, which just felt repetitive, and I wanted to skip forward. In the end, I ended up giving this book 4 stars because it was fun. It was the best? No. But if you want a comfort read, if you want a light read, go for it. Also, the name of the series is Vancouver Storms, and I know there is a second book already out in the series, and I do plan to read it because it sounds fun. And sometimes, actually most times, we are reading books for fun, and then there is also the books we read for our brain, so we can learn. But a lot of times we read books for fun, and it delivered. The second book I decided to read is Book Talk sensation, New York Times bestseller, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And I bought this book, and I bought it because of TikTok, because people kept saying this book, they love this book. This book was great, it was fun, and I saw people waving this book around. I saw people giving this book for hockey players to read, and they seemed shocked, and I don't know. I just needed to read this book. I felt the need to read this book. One thing I didn't notice until recently is that Nate has a beard on the cover. In my head, every time I thought about this book or I saw the cover of this book, I was sure Nate didn't have a beard, but he has a beard. Like, what is this? Apparently it is on the cover, and I didn't notice it until recently. So this one is also a Crumpy Sunshine novel. The difference is that it takes place in college, and Anastasia, she's a figure skater. So Icebreaker follows Nate Hawkins. He's the captain of the college hockey team, and Anastasia, she's a figure skater, and she's trying really hard, she's working really hard to get a spot on Team USA of figure skating in the Olympics. After a mishap with the ice rink, the hockey ice rink, the hockey team needs to share a rink with the figure skating team, and from that it ensues some chaos. So I'm currently 2 chapters in Icebreaker, and I know this book is muddy because I spent way too much time online, so I know it's muddy, but the first chapter was already muddy, so now I'm a little bit concerned this book would be filthier than I was expecting, and filthier than what is like my threshold for smutty books. Also, the writing, I found some things in the writing that some of my college professors would find availing, and my most iconic college professor, I can already imagine the things he would say and the feedback he would give for the writing, because it's not necessarily bad, but there are some things that are some choices and that could have been executed a little bit better. That being said, I'm still having a lot of fun, and it's been only 2 chapters. I know there will be a scene in the near future in this book that apparently will ruin Gru for me, and I don't know what to expect. Oh, hello. So I've been just reading Icebreaker, and I'm almost halfway through, and so far it's fun, but this book's definitely spicier than I was expecting, which I guess I should expect because that's what almost every single TikTok I ever saw about this book tends to suggest, but still, was a little bit caught off guard. But also, I just reached the Gru scene. Gru is definitely, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to look at Gru the same way as I did before. And also, I just don't understand the appeal of public bathrooms. And Stacy has this tendency to walk around without underwear in the most questionable places to walk around without underwear and in a skirt, and reading those parts made me sure this girl doesn't have a tube of antibacterial wipes, and she definitely doesn't have a collection of hand sanitizers, because there is no way that a person that owns a tube of antibacterial wipes and other random packets of antibacterial wipes they bought along the way, plus collections of tubes of hand sanitizer, they wouldn't walk around the way Stassi does. Because every time I get to a scene where she's like, oh yeah, I'm in this club without any underwear, it's very popular crowded club, or oh, I'm in this college party and I don't have any underwear, my head, I'm already like, you're getting an infection. My head goes straight to germs, and girl, please wear underwear and please get yourself a tube of antibacterial wipes and a collection of hand sanitizer. Personally, I have at least 5 tubes only in this room, so I suggest Stassi do something similar and please get underwear. That's my review so far of this book. It's been fun though. If you ignore that part, best thing I ever read? No, but it's fun. I forgot to add that I hate Aaron, and Stassi keeps saying, oh, he's an only child. He's not, it's not because he's an only child, he's just a controlling asshole. So overall, I also gave this book a 4-star because it was fun. It was really fun. There was a scene that grew for me, kind of. I still haven't tried to watch Despicable Me ever since I read this book, but I might need to try it and see if Gru is truly ruined in my mind. I'm going to say this book was way spicier than I was expecting. I knew it was spicy because I saw the comments on TikTok, but I wasn't expecting it to be this level of spice. It's actually on my top level of spice. I am cool with reading without thinking it's unnecessary. This book was actually almost bordering on this, like, it's unnecessarily spicy level, but I feel there was enough plot to justify all those scenes in this book. There is already a second book out from the Maple Hill series, and I believe there was a third one already announced. I do plan on reading it. I hope reading them because I just had so much fun, you know. And when I need a fun book, that would be a great option. Overall, do I think hockey romance deserves the hype? Kind of. From the 11 hockey romances I already read, I only didn't enjoy one of them, and I believe that was one particular instance. Of course, there is probably books I won't enjoy in this niche. I know there are some I read synopsis and I know they're not for me, and that's fine, but overall I won't have fun, and it's just another romance novel. So if you have any suggestion for hockey romance that my ever-growing TBR, please let me know. And if you read one of these books also, please let me know. I would love to know your opinions on it. This is the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.